Hey guys, today we are reviewing the HoloTaco I Need Space collection. Alright, so this collection is their first of 2024 and it contains 5 assorted nail polishes and a limited edition collector's box. The polishes themselves are staying, so they are not limited edition. The theme itself is obviously space, but more specifically Mars, and I think that's a pretty interesting take on a spacey theme, as well as being also a Valentine's Day theme, or maybe anti-Valentine's Day themed. And that's the general overview, so let's get into the swatches and little bit of review. First up is Solo Mission. It's described as a dusty rose jelly formula with pink and orange iridescent flakes, and for the most part I agree with that. It's very dusty though. Emphasis on the dusty portion. And here I'm just doing some first coats. As you can see, it's pretty sheer due to that jelly base. And in this, you can kind of see my pinky got less and my pointer finger got more, and that's simply due to me having more polish on one than the other. Here I'm going on with my second coat. The website does recommend 2 to 3 coats, and usually I do 3, but for all of the swatches for this, I decided to just go 2 for some reason. And there it is, 2 coats with Glossy Taco. And here we have our distance shot, just kind of showing what it looks like outside of just the nail or the hand. I personally, this wasn't my favorite polish. I'll go ahead and say it now. Because it felt too close to my skin tone, and so my nails didn't pop the way I wanted it to compared to like the colors on my other hand. I did, however, really like this shot of it against my kind of light gray mug, and that kind of made it a little better for me. So yeah, here it is against my like darker sweater, and in that view it's just kind of but overall, you know, it's good. And also here's a bonus section of it against my other hand. Just thought it looked cool. Next up we have Alien Infatuation. This is a gray jelly formula, and it has a nice little green shimmer and just a little bit of scattered hollow. This polish is of course in the same family as the Spirit Fingers polish from the HoloTaco Sophia collab. So that one was gray jelly with a more red pinky magenta shimmer, and this one has a green shimmer instead, and that one was one of my favorite ones. But this one, I don't know if it's because it's green, although I tend to like greens, but this one didn't do it as much for me as the Sophia one, but still, you know, I think it's a lovely polish. Here's the distant shot. I do really like the burst of green that you see. I think that's a really cool aspect of this type of polish. And next we have Orbite Me. This is a deep burgundy crushed hollow. And I didn't really think much of it when I got it, and in the bottle it didn't really stand out to me. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, a dark, you know, vampy red burgundy shade. But when I put this on, these first coats, I was reminded why I really enjoy crushed hollow. For me, sometimes I think crushed hollow in the bottle doesn't stand out as much, so sometimes I forget about it. And then I see a photo or I like swatch it and I go, oh yeah, this is great. I love this polish. So yes, the formula and the color for this one was like top tier for me. And it also, so as you can kind of see in certain spots, it dried down more red, and when I applied the second coat it showed up darker, and then when I put Glossy Taco on, it kind of retained that more dark color. And here is the distant shot. It reminded me immediately of like red velvet. So if you like red velvet, I feel like this is a pretty good color of that. And then here they both are, Orbite Me and Alien Infatuation. Alright, let's go. I'm a Rover It is next. This is another jelly, but it's burnt red with orange shimmer and also some holographic microflakes. So a lot of stuff going on in here, although it doesn't seem like it, I feel like. Out of all of them, it feels kind of the most straightforward, and I think that's just because the jelly is red and the shimmer is orange, and those are just close in colors. So here's the first coat. Looks pretty, I will say for coverage, I feel like it looks pretty good on that first coat. Unless maybe I was just heavy-handed with it. But second coat felt appropriate for me. Of course, you can always do a third coat just to make sure. I have short nails, so the nail line is a little bit less visible. And then here it is all done, and you can see a little bit of those microflakes. And of course, here's the distance shot. I liked how this one, you know, like I said, I'm looking for polishes that kind of pop against my skin, and this one does a really good job at that. And it even pops against like my dark sweater. And finally, we have Waste of Space. This is another jelly, but this is a black jelly, and it has red and blue iridescent flakes along with holographic glitters. This one has a lot of stuff in it that you can see from the bottle, and reminded me the most of space, just as the general theme and not strictly Mars. So I was glad we got this one to have more of that representation of space, and I like all of the little things they decided to put into this. As you can see, it's pretty sheer on that first coat due to the jelly nature of it, so you definitely will need more coats if you want this to be full coverage. Again, I'm only doing 2 coats for all of the polishes, and this one I think would have benefited more from a third coat, but I just wanted to leave it at 2 and see how that went for me. So here it is with 2 coats, and I think that's still pretty decent. I think you can definitely tell that it's not giving you a true like black color because of the red and blue flakies that are reflecting back at you. And I don't know if maybe a third coat would have fixed that. Here against my mug it kind of looks more black. But yeah, maybe a third coat would have fixed that for me. And here they are together. They just look cute. This was a cute combo, I think. And here are all of the polishes on paper swatches. I just like doing paper swatches. And here is Solo Mission Over One Coat Black, which reminded me a lot of Waste of Space, but Waste of Space has that little hint of blue, as well as you wouldn't get that dustiness over it. And then here's Duct Tape Gray, Alien Abduction and Cold Slate together, and then Celestial Lights over Duct Tape Gray. You can definitely see the bigger shimmery flecks in Celestial Lights compared to the shimmer of Alien Infatuation. And here are Sacrificial Lacquer, a Magnetic, I'm Rover, a Jelly, and Tax Haven, a Multi-Chrome. So similar-ish in color, but totally different formulas. And here are Bury Me and Hollow, or Bite Me, Need I Say Mocha, and Espresso Your Hollow, all crushed hollow. Just thought it'd be neat to see them all. And those are the swatches. I will say I completely forgot to do matte for any of them, and I'm kind of sad about it. Darn, I would definitely do some of these matte, especially Solo Mission and Orbite Me. So general thoughts are, I like this collection. I like that it's a limited palette, so mostly, you know, reds, pinks kind of vibe, warm tones. And yeah, I like that about it. I'm not a super duper purple lover. I like purple just fine, but I did feel a little bit overwhelmed by purple last year, so it was a surprise to get a collection without a purple. I kind of appreciate that they took that direction and tried it out. For me, that's a nice way to kind of pick a theme and then like really commit to it. So I appreciate their kind of like commitment to trying this. So because I tend to like either really dark polishes or really bright polishes, the types of colors that really pop against my skin, my favorite is Orbite Me. It's a crushed hollow. It is a dark, deep, reddy brown kind of tone, and I really like it. I was kind of surprised how much I liked it, to be honest. So yeah, this one's absolutely my favorite. My next favorite is probably going to be Rover It, just because it's another kind of deep toned color, if I'm using the words correctly. And then it's a little bit of a mix between Alien Infatuation and Waste of Space. I like Waste of Space because it has all of these really cool like pops of color, but when I have it on, it feels more, since the black is like sheer, the black isn't as deep as I want it to be. That's why these two are a little bit on the same level for me. And Alien Infatuation, it's a gray, but it has a cool green tint to it. I'm not really drawn to like grays that way, I guess. So these two are kind of tied for third. And then I'm sorry, the last is Solo Mission. I like the idea of it, of having these like really vibrant specks in there. The base is too close in skin tone for me. I will say, when I had the last minute idea to try it over black, I really like that because it made the flakes inside pop more. So yeah, I can see myself wearing it in that form. It is, I think, a nice kind of romantic, subtle type of vibe. I'm just not in that vibe usually. On the Valentine's Day type of vibe, I like things to be combined, like in general. It's just a cool concept. Like, how can we connect this thing to this thing? So I like that they, tried this. I think it's a cool idea. Yeah, and the polishes fit the theme really well. My only critique really is that I wish, in a way, it came out a little bit earlier, like a week earlier, only because if it's kind of being targeted as like a Valentine's Day thing and it comes out the Saturday before Valentine's Day, 5 days later or something, you're probably not going to get it in time for Valentine's Day, which I don't really mind because I'm not really planning to do Valentine's Day nail art with like upcoming releases. I'm looking through what I have already. But yeah, there have definitely been, I think, releases in the past where I wish we had just a little bit more time to actually receive them and use them for the intended like holiday or festivity, what have you. So that's really my only critique about the timing aspect concerning like a holiday, if it's being marketed a little bit towards a holiday. But this is very much more kind of a spacey, Marsy type of vibe, so not really a huge deal. I swapped my hair because it was getting hot. So yeah, that is it for this collection, this review swatching situation. Did you get this collection? And what did you think about it? Are you missing purples? And what do you think of this being geared as like a spacey theme, but mostly Mars? And what are your favorite colors in the collection if you did get this one? And yeah, that will do it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for being here. Bye.